Erica,
Yeah, Cass?
we have something pretty cool for our little baby trash cans.
Why, you wouldn't happen to be talking about vegan, eco-friendly, and cruelty-free candles, would you?
I absolutely am talking about that. Baby trash cans for this week only, our listeners have access to a 15% off discount from Phoebe Candles.
Phoebe Candles is a female-owned business and are handmade right here in Los Angeles.
They feature all kinds of amazing scents like Palo Santo and white sage or butter and sugar.
Egyptian linen and lavender.
Ugh, that one smells rich. My personal favorite is probably a tie between Man Cave and Pool Boy because who doesn't love a summer scent?
Man Cave's my favorite because I know I love a summer scent.
Go to phoebecandles.com, that is Febe, or find them on Instagram at Phoebe Candles and enter Trashy, all one word, at checkout for 15% off of your order.
Remember, baby trash cans, this promo code runs this week only. So go shop small, support female-owned businesses, and freshen up your house in the meantime.
Febe Candles. Thanks, Phoebe Candles.
Hello and welcome to Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
And my name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Good morning.
Good morrow to thy.
We've got our sexy morning voices on this morning.
It is bright and early on a Friday morning, coming to you live.
Yep. I mean, we're coming to you Monday, but to us, it's Friday. So some crazy trashy shit goes on this weekend. What do we know?
What do we know? Have fireworks been going off in your neighborhood constantly?
Yeah.
Yeah. People
What's
were
up
on
with
top
that?
of, I love it, / hate it.
You don't have dogs then.
I don't have dogs. So I do have a scaredy cat who is upset by the big boys that go off.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that sound like cannon fire.
Yeah.
I do have a cat that gets like firework anxiety a little bit, but I do not have dogs. So I am sorry to everyone with a dog.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like people get so excited leading up to the 4th of July that they just go. I mean, there's certain spots in Los Angeles, especially last year. Last year was awful, where they just like, because of the pandemic too, you know, and all the wildfires, just really being told, please don't do this. And then there was also the BLM marches, all at the same. It was just like for like, not that they were lighting fireworks at the BLM protest, but like it was kind of, there was just a general sense of fuck authority in the air last year around this time. And so for a full month, it was like, it felt like a fucking fireworks show every night. And
yeah, they were lighting them off across the roof at the parking garage right across the street from me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's bold because there's security patrols.
Mm-hmm. Why are you trash this week?
Well, grief makes you do funny things.
Uh-huh.
And one of those funny things that grief makes me do is I steal pins from funeral homes.
Okay.
And I recently attended a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And at the front desk, the two receptionists left for some reason. And I took all of the pins, like in a grief-stricken panic. I just took the pins. And then I got into the car with my partner whose funeral, family funeral I was attending. And he'd done the same thing. He'd stolen pins from the funeral home.
Wait.
And when I showed him my purse, and I was like, I took 4 pins from the funeral home. He was like, yeah, they're good pins.
Oh, hold on. Are these branded pens? Do they say the
Yes.
funeral homes? Okay.
Yes, they say Hanson's Mortuary.
And they're available to anyone.
They're at the front desk. They're available to anyone. They probably want you to write like one thing and return it.
But you and your partner both steal them.
I don't
know if it's not probably a stealing, but you take them and you take more than you need.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sure they're used to it, right?
They must be. They must have 1,000 pins at a time because people take the pins.
Because otherwise, why brand them? You know, they probably like learned long ago that people take pens in times of duress, and they're like,
Mhm.
well, we better get an ad out of this if they're going to keep stealing this shit.
Yep. Hanson's Mortuaries, Valley-wide, with 2 phone numbers on it.
That's like some old, I don't know if you see that anymore. You know, like the custom made pen, or I just haven't gone out in so long that I forgot.
Why are you trash this week?
I have a historical trash, which honestly, like, I didn't think was that big of a deal until I told the story over last weekend, and the reaction I got horrified me. When I was in middle school, I transferred to a new middle school in California, and we had uniforms. And so I chose the all black option of the uniform because I thought it looked best in the grand scheme of uniforms, and was quickly dubbed as a goth girl. But like, I listened to Good Charlotte. I was hip to it. So I was like, fuck you. If I'm going to be a goth girl, I'm going to be a goth girl. So there was a couple other like kind of punk rocky girls that I was like, I guess I have to be friends with these ones, even though my actual friends who I ended up being friends with were not these punk rock girls. And the one time that I ever spent with them outside of school, I was at one of their houses, and they just like, they started eating dog treats.
What?
I mean, I'm talking like I'm in a nice suburban house. You know, like these people had more money than, you know, like certainly I did.
Right.
So it's not like there wasn't other snacks, but they were just like, you know, like it's punk to eat dog treats. So are you punk or not? And handed me a dog treat, and I fucking ate one. I ate a dog treat to fit in. Whatever. I don't think that this is like that big of a deal, but I told this to you guys, you know, my friends,
Yeah.
and all of you like looked at me like I was crazy.
Fellas, is it punk to eat dog treats?
Whatever, man. I mean, it's not like it was like, it just tastes like really, really, really dry meat flavored bread.
Yeah. But you proved that day you are punk.
Yeah. I also proved that day that I did not want to hang out with these people. So I stuck to, you know, my other friends that were not punk, and I kind of just went on my way from there.
I wonder what they're doing now. They're probably selling doTERRA and essential oils. Like,
I would put money, because there was the one whose house we were at. I think that she was in over her head with how punk she was. I don't think that she actually liked it. She just, you know, she wanted to like Good Charlotte, but then found out that that was poser and now was just pretending. And look, I get it. I was there too. But the other one, who was, I guess, the ringleader of us, who then, you know, you think back and you're like, well, she was the most insecure, needed the most help. Not that that's what punk rock means, but that's certainly what it meant for middle school girls. I don't know how she is. You know, I'd be curious to find out how she is. She went by, I want to say her name was, she called herself Z, but her name was Ashley.
That's wild.
I can't really remember, but yeah. Anyways, whatever. They were like, we're gonna go to the mall after this. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh no, I have to go home. My mom, you know, like needs me home. That wasn't fucking true. I wanted to get the fuck out of there. No, I don't want to go mob around the mall with a bunch of punks.
My mom needs me to not eat dog treats, so I'm gonna go.
I need to go home. I'm not, you know, I don't want to get into punk. I'm a good kid.
Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl?
All right, I'm fucking out of here.
Oh my goodness. That I love peer pressure. I told a story in preschool. The 6-year-olds, when I was like 3 or 4, the 6-year-olds in the school told me that the cool kids eat leaves.
Right.
And so, God damn it, if I didn't start eating leaves. And when my poop was green,
Oh my God.
my mom was like, "What's happening to you?" And eventually the story came out. Well, the older kids told me that the cool kids eat leaves. And my mom's like, "Well, we're not a cool kid. We don't do that."
Honestly, probably one of the most valuable lessons that I think any of us could ever learn. You're not
Truly.
a cool kid. Yeah.
You are
Life
not.
changing.
You know who else wasn't a cool kid?
Oh my God. I love this story so much. I can't believe we're starting off with such a bang.
According to the New York Post and Insider.com, an oblivious fan causes horrific Tour de France crash.
This is everything you need. I was at a bar and I turned around and watched this on SportsCenter and texted you immediately because it's so major. An oblivious fan posing for cameras caused a bloody crash on Saturday that plunged the first stage of the Tour de France into chaos.
With one foot on the road and a cardboard sign encouraging riders to go hanging onto the course, the spectator's head was turned in the opposite direction of the cyclist when all hell broke loose.
Veteran rider Tony Martin crashed into the sign and tumbled to the ground, leading dozens of others behind the accident into a pileup involving half of the riders. Like, you don't have a lot of fucking space when you're doing the Tour de France, not on certain, like, tighter roads. Like, this was literally so many fucking bikers.
It was absolutely wild. Multiple bikes were damaged as a result of the crash, but the injury toll to the riders wasn't immediately clear.
Bloodied Martin returned to the action, but Joshua Sutherland of Germany reportedly withdrew because of the crash.
The tour cautioned fans to respect the safety of the riders and don't risk everything for a photo or to get on television.
I mean, for fuck's sake, the tour can caution that as much as they want, but the real deterrent is the fact that I think it was a woman, that this fan could go to jail for a year because of this and an $18,000 fine.
That's the true part that gets me. I mean, the video, if you haven't seen it, Google it. It's horrific.
Yeah. Like, I'm giggling about it because, I mean, obviously, like, it's very. I don't know what am I supposed to say. I guess people got hurt and it fucked up the Tour de France. But, like, people get hurt when they fall down and we laugh also. So I don't have to apologize for being a trash can. It's a fucking wild video. It's literally like, it's so much worse than you think it's going to be.
Yes, it's worse and worse and worse.
It's fucking wild.
Oh my God. You know what else is wild?
The Bachelor franchise.
Do you partake? Are you watching?
Look, I've been in and out of Bachelor Nation. I'm currently out, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I just hear, from other people. I don't know if my tastes for reality have gotten just a little bit trashier because I'm watching Too Hot to Handle and stuff instead.
Mm-hmm.
But I get the concept of the show. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Yeah. I've recently put my foot in Bachelor Nation in the last 3 or 4 years thanks to the podcast The Bachelor Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Our brothers in podcasting. And let me tell you, it's a wild ride.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Tour de France. But one of the former bachelorettes and current host of The Bachelorette, Tayshia Adams, is in some hot water.
Yes, according to ScreenRant.com, Tayshia took out a $20,000 payroll protection loan for influencing.
So for those of you who don't know, the PPP loans were these payroll protection loans that the government granted during the pandemic that was meant to keep small businesses alive, not for single income LLCs to keep themselves alive and she took one out to fund her influencer business, even though she's the only employee.
Yeah, which also I'm looking it up now. I guess Colton took one out too.
Yes, and so did, I believe,
Ari and Lauren.
And Lauren.
Lauren, excuse me. Lauren.
Laura.
Yeah. This is I mean, they're definitely like an incestuous community. So I'm sure one of them was like, hey, did you know you could do this? And all of them were like, let's do it.
Let's do it. Ari's business is for Instagram Husband, which is the best name.
Okay, so I was in Bachelor Nation when fucking Ari was the Bachelor. And like literally, yuck.
Yeah.
I think that was actually my first time back into Bachelor Nation because I watched it with my mom when it first came out, you know? So I watched like the first season, who I can't remember his name, and then I watched like Trista and Ryan's season because she was the very first Bachelorette, and then I stopped. And now I got back in with Ari and watched Ari, Becca, who the fuck was after that?
Pilot
Colton. Colton.
Okay.
And then, Bachelor in Paradise. So Tayshia was good. Tayshia was like, it was either Colton or Ari, who I forgot whose season she was on, but like whoever Colton. It was, like they blew it.
Yeah. Tayshia's a catch.
Well, not now. She's in trouble.
It's Nick Viall weighed in and he said what's legal isn't always right and what's illegal isn't always wrong. Or something to that extent. Please don't come for me, Bachelor Nation.
Wow.
He tweeted, and it's like this goes against the spirit of the law, but it's not necessarily illegal.
I just I guess if you are yourself an LLC, then that's that. Then you would qualify for one of these loans. But that being said, like, wasn't influencing kind of a pandemic proof job?
Yeah.
Like, if anything, it like kind of thrived.
I mean, it just depends. Like, I know a lot of my influencer friends had to pivot into doing local things rather than travel.
Right.
So, but
also
some people,
very cool, very, very cool that you have influencer friends.
I do have a couple influencer friends, but some people acted as if there were no pandemic.
Sure.
Some influencers, not my friends, but some people acted as if there were nothing going on in the world.
Yeah. You think that she could have solved this, or all these people could have solved this if they had like an assistant?
Maybe.
Also, wasn't Tayshia like a lawyer or something?
No, I don't think she was a lawyer.
I thought she was like something that was like pretty, like,
Rachel Lindsay was a lawyer.
Huh.
But I don't think Tayshia was. But now she's, the payroll protection loan program was pretty poorly crafted. And so many businesses that were not the target of the program still got significant payouts, according to the article.
I mean, I know that those darn Trump boys, I think, got them for their businesses.
Yeah.
So
those darn Trump boys make them sound more quaint and wholesome.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to go for like the sons of oh no, excuse me. I was trying to go for the Dukes of Hazzard, comparison because they have like a Confederate flag on their car. So the line feels okay.
I mean, it's to be seen if there's any backlash coming from the fans. I mean, it could have a negative effect on her standing in Bachelor Nation, but Tayshia's pretty clean in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that Bachelor Nation is a forgiving people, You know
who I can't forgive?
Who?
The gentleman in our next story.
Oh, okay. So this is from your like favorite Reddit.
Am I the asshole?
Okay, cool.
So the headline, am I the asshole for inviting my 28-year-old girlfriend on an expensive vacation and expecting her to pay for half of it? In quotations, I make a lot more than her.
So this guy's 29, she's 28, makes a lot more vacation. Got it. Cool.
Yeah. Hello. The posting reads, so if Am I the Asshole, for those of you who don't know, is a subreddit and a Twitter feed where people come on and explain a situation and they ask, am I the asshole? And people say, you're the asshole, not the asshole, no assholes here. And so people weigh in with their opinions on if you are the asshole or not. And people often write them a little favorable towards themselves, which is understandable.
Sure.
So the posting reads, hello. My girlfriend, myself, my parents, and my brother and his wife all went on vacation to another country a week ago. My brother and I were the ones who did most of the planning and the itinerary, although we did ask everyone else for input. For background, I make $150K as an IT consultant, and my girlfriend is a teacher making $45K. My parents are pretty affluent as well, and my brother and sister-in-law. My girlfriend knew this trip was coming up and took a second job waitressing on the weekends for several months to get ready for it.
Oh my God.
We have always split things 50-50 in the 2 years we've been together. There was a few times on vacation where she did not go to outings with us, such as wine tasting, scuba diving, etc. She would only eat 2 meals a day, simply stating that she was on a budget. My family does favor more high-end, expensive places. My parents thought it was very strange that she only eats 2 meals a day, although she normally eats 3. When we got home, I asked her why she skipped out on several of the outings and only ate 2 meals a day. I mentioned how I heard her stomach growling one night, and she said I was concerned about her having an eating disorder. She got teary-eyed and said that 3 meals a day wasn't fiscally feasible for her. Neither were the outings that she chose not to go on. She went on 3 out of the 6 outings. She said she was not expecting everything to cost so much and she was overwhelmed. She also said she doesn't know if this is going to work long term if she is expected to go on vacations like that with people who make more than her. I feel bad that I did not pick up on her discomfort sooner, but we did agree to split everything 50-50, and I don't know why she agreed to come if cost was the issue. So that's the posting.
Okay.
And then OP has come back with several rage-inducing texts when people have said, you're the asshole. What do you think?
Look, yes, of course, this person is the asshole. You know, like,
yeah,
a trip to another country and like high-end, expensive moments and things like that, and knowing that they have to take a second job to go. How can you say that you didn't, like, why would she agree to come? Or if she, didn't know things were going to be expensive, she picked up a second fucking job to go on this fucking trip.
Yeah.
And like all that just to make sure that it's 50-50. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. This feels like sad.
Yeah. So I totally agree. And when confronted with the fact that he left her alone for some of the outings and taking her to restaurants that he knows she can't afford, when confronted with this, he said, I showed her the itinerary and the restaurants we would be going to. She had access to all the information beforehand. She could have suggested that we eat somewhere else, but she did not.
Oh my God.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Like, that's just crazy, honestly.
I mean, she was willing to skip meals, miss events, and put herself in debt, all to spend time with this guy.
Wow. This sucks. This guy's definitely like the asshole. Like, it's money's dicey, but like literally,
yeah,
like this guy sounds like an entitled fucking idiot.
Yeah, and you make 3 times what she makes. Like, have a little compassion.
Truly, though, like, a lot of people can't afford to go on these trips in general. Like, and to the fact that you put together like the most expensive one. And that everyone makes enough to afford it except one person. I just don't get it.
When going on vacation, I'm always checking in about like, does this price per night work for someone? Does this, like, you have to be considerate because like I know what I like to stay within budget for. And I want to make sure somebody else isn't breaking their budget to do something that I want to do.
Yeah. I mean, or like vice versa, in the sense of like, I when I go on vacation, I like to have like at least one nice meal. But then sometimes like, other second, third nice meals creep up. And then it is time to, check in and be like, this is getting high, or where are you at? Where are we at? Like, whatever.
Yeah, communication is important, and I feel like they didn't have communication skills. Like I was saying, communication is key. And, I do feel like the girlfriend could have spoken up a little bit sooner, but that's an uncomfortable position to be in.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, she could have. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Cause like
It's hard to speak up in those circumstances.
I got a lot of like pride, and she wants to take on the second job, whatever, to make it happen. But at the same time, like maybe you see that she's taking on the second job, but in the moment when you see that she's skipping activities or that she's not eating meals with everyone, that's maybe when you step in and be like, no, I'd really like you on this one. Like I'll pay, like just something.
Right.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. You know what else I don't know about?
What?
I don't know how to dance.
Yeah, I don't know how to dance either. This next story comes to us from Revolt.tv. Black TikTok creators go on strike, refusing to make Thought Shit dance to protest appropriation on the app.
Black creators are using Megan Thee Stallion's new song to shine a light on cultural appropriation and stolen trends on TikTok.
This is a great song, by the way.
Yes. Megan is, she's high art to me at this point.
She's great. So they're basically, this is a song that like you would think would have a TikTok dance to go with it, because that's just kind of how like big hit songs happen, and especially Megan Thee Stallion songs. But they're trying to not create a dance, an effort to show how some white creators steal and fail to credit trends on the apps.
The song even says hands on your knees, and the people that are making dances for it aren't putting their hands on their knees.
Yeah.
When it calls for it. So essentially, Jasmine Moore said, "We observed over the years at TikTok that most of the dances on the app were originated by Black creators, and creators who weren't Black will water it down, do the bare minimum of the dance, and claim it as their own. So when this song popped up, everyone knew that someone was going to make a dance to it, but the Black creators collectively agreed not to make one.
People still need to acknowledge Black creators and not ignore us in any community that we partake in, to not belittle us or demonize our content for their amusement. We have each other in the long run and will succeed collectively as a family."
Racism and cultural appropriation have been long-standing issues on TikTok, with Addison Rae most recently receiving backlash for performing several popular TikTok dances created by Black users on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and failing to give them any credit.
That like segment on Jimmy Fallon was like so weird, because like she couldn't do any of like I don't think they could play all the songs.
Right.
So she was just kind of like doing the dances while like the roots sort of just like like I don't know. I honestly, it was so cringy I couldn't watch more than like 2 seconds of it, because I was like, this fucking sucks. Like,
and it felt like she wasn't going full out either. Like she was just kind of like flailing a little.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very, very weird. And I actually came across a video in my algorithm that was, talking about this, and that it was a Black creator who was like, there is a dance to this song, but you don't follow enough, you guys don't follow enough Black creators to see it. So sorry. Like, follow more Black creators. Hey, like I saw that video, so I must not follow enough either. It's the algorithm and the way you get shown what you get shown, and it's an interesting thing, but I think it's a kind of a cool protest.
I agree. Megan has not commented herself on the strike, and I hope that it's not hurting the sale of her song because of this. That's my only concern.
There's no way. It's the music video has over 11 million views still. Like, it's a great song. Like, I think she'll be okay.
Good. I worry about her.
You know who I'm worried about?
Oh, who?
The McDonald's employees in our next story.
Yeah, from TMZ.com, the trashiest of news sources.
Jeez Louise.
McDonald's mayhem. Cops say guy calls in bomb threat for missing nugget sauce.
A guy in Iowa who wanted to get his dip on during a McDonald's meal went from hungry to dangerously hangry when he discovered his order was missing something.
Ankeny PD Lieutenant Rob Kovacs tells TMZ Robert Goldwitzer Jr. was arrested for making a false report of an explosive or incendiary device, a Class D felony, we're told, after cops say he called to Mickey D's where he picked up an order of nuggets and said he'd hoped the restaurant would blow up because they forgot his sauces.
Now, let's see. When you don't have sauces, you could park your car, get out of your car, go inside, and ask for sauces. Or you could call in a bomb threat and then you still don't have fucking sauce.
I mean, what sauce was it? Because I think the sauce indicates how severe the reaction should be.
I don't know. I mean, look, I think you couldn't fucking... Well, you could. I shouldn't say you couldn't pay me to eat chicken nuggets from McDonald's, because you could. There's a dollar amount for anything. But I don't like these nuggets. I think they're gross. I've talked about that, I think, before. But I'll take a hot dog, but I won't take a chicken nugget.
Yeah. I do enjoy a burger. I do enjoy a sausage muffin from McDonald's, but I will not eat their chicken products.
Oh, no. So cops say that Goldwitzer also mentioned wanting to punch an employee because of the flub. So McDonald's turned his number over to the cops. And when they contacted this guy, he came down to the station, fessed up, and got arrested. This seems like a cry for help.
Yeah, something's going on with Goldwitzer.
Yeah. All that just for a little cup of ranch. Can you imagine if it was ranch?
I mean, I'm so trash. I keep sauces in the car.
Don't they go bad?
Hot sauce and ketchup packets? They're in my glove box.
Does ketchup require refrigeration? Maybe not.
Nope.
So you have hot, your car that gets hot when it sits in the sun and boils the ketchup packets, and you use them?
If they forget my sauce, I've used them.
Okay. Okay.
When I told you, Cassandra, I'm trash, I meant it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I know. I don't need to lay on extra judgment because I know you know.
Yeah.
So we're good, Yeah. There's a man in our next story who was not good.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
According to Insider.com, a man jumped out of a plane's exit at LAX and told the FBI he had bought a lot of meth.
Luis Armando Victoria Dominguez was charged for opening the exit door of a plane at LAX, according to court documents.
Can't do that. Can't fuck around on planes. They really don't like that.
Yep.
He's facing up to 20 years in prison.
The 33-year-old man was charged for jumping out of a plane at an airport when he told authorities that he had bought $20 worth of meth, the Washington Post reported.
$20 worth of meth.
That doesn't seem like a lot. I don't know what drugs cost, but that doesn't
I don't know
seem
what
like
drugs cost either.
A lot of meth.
Yeah, how much meth can $20 really get you? $20 can barely get you a cocktail.
Yeah.
In LA.
I know. With tip, yeah.
What the So anyways, he was charged with interference with flight members, the incident on a United Airlines, of course.
Flight.
Departing.
Oh, go ahead.
Departing from LAX to Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah, just save your meth for Utah.
Victoria Dominguez is accused of knocking on the cockpit door, opening the emergency exit, and hopping out of the plane. He was arrested at the airport and transferred to the hospital after injuries to his right leg. He's lucky that's all he was injured.
No shit. Because planes are big. They're high off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this plane wasn't in the air. Imagine being on that flight. Oh, you know how I would be if I was sitting on that flight and some guy was like, I have a lot of meth. I need to get off the plane. I'd be like, this is what I get for flying United. I fucking knew it.
You brought this upon yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
During the interview with the FBI in the hospital, he said he arrived to Los Angeles from Mexico earlier in the week. He wanted to head to Salt Lake City, but ended up at a hotel downtown near a bus station on Tuesday, according to the complaint, due to not having a connecting flight.
So this is United's fault.
Yeah. He told authorities that he had paid $20 to an unidentified person for a lot of meth and drank multiple beers, according to the complaint.
So he went to a different hotel on Wednesday, smoked throughout the day, and then decided, I'm going to fly to Utah instead of taking the bus. And then on Thursday, he smoked more meth, but then missed his flight.
Who hasn't been there?
Absolutely. You know, it's really hard when you got to connect or you got to find something to do, especially a connection over like 3 days. What are you going to do, not smoke meth?
Right. And I would advise, if you're flying out of LAX, get there the 2 hours before. Nowadays, the lines, they've cut down on the security lines, and the lines are literally snaked around the building. It's insane right now.
I mean, or you could get pre-check.
Or get pre-check, which I recommend.
I recommend as well. Where were we? We were going to Barcelona or something and your pre-check didn't work?
Yeah.
You dragged me through security?
I'm sorry.
Like a normal?
Like a normal.
It's all right. I'll do it for you.
Victoria Dominguez further stated that perhaps his panic attack gave him the strength to open the door. I think the meth gave you the strength.
Yeah, the meth combined with just figuring out the handle in a moment's notice.
That is always my fear, that somebody's going to get up. Because those doors, while are secure, it's normally just a flight attendant standing between you and the door. And it's always my fear on an airplane, my irrational fear, which I'm working through in therapy, that somebody is just going to come up and try to open the door mid-flight.
Yeah, I do think that between a possible air marshal and public pressure that it wouldn't go down quite as easily as you think.
That's fair.
I mean, when you agree to sit in the emergency row, you're not only agreeing to help if the plane has to have an emergency landing, you're also agreeing to fight anyone who tries to get through that fucking door.
Yeah, they don't tell you that, but that's the agreement.
That's why you have to give a verbal confirmation.
Yeah. Do you play a game where you try to spot the air marshal?
No.
Oh, I always try to clock the air marshal on a flight, and I'm like, "What's up? I'm here. I get you.
I'm here to help if you need me."
Yeah, I'm a backup if you need it.
I kind of forget that they're there sometimes because they're not always on a flight, right?
I don't know. I assume they're on every flight, or that I'm just giving the what's up to an old guy in a Hawaiian shirt.
Just the toughest looking guy on the plane who kind of looks like he's trying to blend in.
Yeah.
What an exhausting career
job
to be an air marshal.
Yeah. Wild. You know what else would be exhausting?
Sex slavery.
Yes.
According to the New York Times, a website that I, not to brag, do subscribe to, actress who recruited women into NXIVM sentenced to 3 years in prison.
Allison Mack, known for her role on Smallville, helped lure women into a cult-like group led by Keith Raniere.
So I'd like to say that most of our trash cans don't live under a rock and are aware of the background of NXIVM. What was the HBO documentary?
The documentary was called The Vow.
Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't heard of what we're talking about, just go watch The Vow. It's fucking bananas. But this actress, Allison Mack, was in a cult called NXIVM and was a higher ranking member and essentially used her influence to recruit sex slaves for the cult leader.
Vanguard, as he was known in the cult.
Yeah, Keith Raniere. This isn't a light story.
No, this is heavy.
I'm glad that she's going to jail.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe she's only going to jail for 3 years. That feels like a very light sentence.
Keith Raniere's going to jail for his life, right?
120 years in prison.
I see. Yeah. she did like, she had like a letter that she apologized and all this kind of stuff. But some of the people who were like testifying against her was like, she's an evil sociopath, a menace to society, and a danger to innocent human beings. So I don't know how the letter I don't know how it hit.
She said she was the subject to brainwashing while in NXIVM and now recognizes that her actions were abhorrent.
Well, too little too late, my friend.
Too little too late.
I have a pair of glasses from Warby Parker that are like circles, like thin circles. And I got them around the time that The Vow came out. And I realized that if I am not careful, like with my hairstyle and with those glasses, I strike a very big resemblance to Keith Raniere.
No.
Yes. So I gotta wait for all this to wash over before I can introduce those back into like my wardrobe.
Right.
Because I looked a lot like Keith Raniere sometimes.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, like I don't have a beard and stuff, but like put me in like some volleyball garb and yeah. Did you watch The Vow?
I watched The Vow. That was my favorite part, was how into volleyball this cult was.
Yeah, they loved it. And well, he loved it. And so then they in turn loved it. But like it was like there was like a network marketing scheme like element to it. And a lot of people like were like, wow, this is really helping me. But definitely some people like got in fucking deep.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think I could run a cult.
Oh, I think I'd be a great cult leader.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I try to keep the sex slavery out of it.
Yeah, that would be a major missing point in my cult.
Yeah, I'm thinking like no mass suicides, no sex slavery.
Nope.
But then what's left?
Just good vibes, eating healthy, meditation. It always starts well enough. And then somebody's like, I'm going to go jump off a cliff in Hawaii. Or we're all going to start marrying the 14-year-olds. Like every cult starts off with the best of intentions.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Like when they research like how people can, because you watch these things and you're like, how the fuck could anyone possibly believe this? But they say that, like depending on where you are, like right place, right time in your life and vulnerable and whatever is happening in your life, like anyone at any time in their life could be susceptible to a cult.
Yeah. It's
pretty
wild.
Crazy shit.
And like the more intelligent that you are, sometimes the more susceptible that you are to them. It's not stupid people joining.
Yeah, totally.
Boy,
I mean, we don't have to worry about it because we're not very intelligent.
We're not very smart, so we'll be just fine.
I don't have the kind of money that cults are looking for either.
Yeah, that's fair. I worry about that too. Anytime I have been Landmark Forum, I have been tried to be recruited to Landmark Forum several times.
What's that?
Oh, Google it. It's like a professional networking. It's
personal
like
development company.
Yeah,
that's never good.
Never good.
Okay, CEO Harry Rosenberg. We'll have to remember that name in case it all comes crashing down someday.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about our next story?
I would love to talk about our next story. From consequenceofsound.net.
They changed their name.
Oh, yeah. They're just consequences.net.
Consequence.net. This is supposed to be your favorite website. What are you talking about?
I'm used to the old branding.
I know. Why the fuck did they change it? You need to call your friends.
I'm going to write a letter, a strongly worded letter.
Yeah.
Middle-aged white woman dismisses Lil Nas X's same-sex kiss by saying, quote, I did it first.
Yeah. So Lil Nas X had this great BET Awards performance that, he had a same-sex kiss on stage, and visually it was like definitely reminiscent of fucking Madonna's kiss with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. So Madonna needed to fucking chime in about it.
Here's the thing. I think it was more of a cultural statement to do it at the BET Awards, where there can be an attitude of homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, during Pride Month, I think like that was a bigger statement than Madonna's Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera kiss.
Absolutely, because I don't think that Madonna was doing that for any gay rights. I think they were doing it for attention. I mean, am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. I mean, Lil Nas X is facing homophobic backlash for his same-sex kiss. Madonna isn't just according to the article, Madonna isn't just occasionally ally for gay rights. Her support of the community repeatedly goes back to her days as a teenager when she was caroused by fellow dancers at gay bars.
Yes, I mean that is necessary to say. Madonna is like a huge symbol in the gay community, you know,
and has platformed for, you know, LGBTQ equality and has done loudly and consistently throughout her career. But not your time to comment, Madonna.
As if people aren't going to make the connection themselves. Like, honestly, you know, let other people they're going to make that connection. You don't need to fucking say, I did it first. Let other people make that connection. They will. I promise.
I promise. No one has forgotten about this.
I don't know, man. Yeah, they said this says her locking lips with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera was never more than a titillating fantasy, while Lil Nas X's kiss represented his reality.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very different for a 62-year-old white woman who has only publicly dated men. She's in a very different place than a 22-year-old openly gay black man.
Yeah, I mean, Lil Nas faces harassment and death threats on a regular basis. Well, you know, Madonna is... Look, I mean, again, I'm not trying to like discount what Madonna is. She's iconic and all this kind of stuff. It's just sometimes would be nice to just shush.
Silence is an option.
Just shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. So, you know, whatever. Lil Nas X will be okay.
He's going to be just fine.
He's got great music.
He has wonderful hits.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's an artist for the ages. Like, I don't think he's a flash in the pan, you know?
No, I don't think so either.
I can't wait to see what happens. And he's only 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got time to grow as a person and as an artist.
Yeah, for sure. Man, are we old?
Yes. I'm about to have to check the next age box, you know, when it's like 30 to 34. I'm about to have to.
Oh, yeah.
I got to check 35 to 39.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but like there's something like kind of exciting about being 40. Like I'm 31 now. I have a lot of time to go. Mm-hmm. But I'm starting to see like people being 40 and being like, that's when you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like that's when people really come into their own, especially for women, like where they're feeling like, oh, I know who I am. I'm good. I'm 40.
I mean, I will say that I feel like I've heard this from a lot of people. Like, I am more comfortable and like myself a lot more now. Mm-hmm. As a 30, now that I'm in my 30s, like 20-year-old Cassandra did not know what she was talking about ever and like hated herself. Like 30s Cassandra like doesn't know what she's talking about, but does it on a bigger platform and loves herself. So hopefully by the time I'm 40, I will still love myself and maybe know what I'm talking about.
That's all we can hope for.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what else we can hope for?
What?
Justice.
Sweet justice.
According to NPR.org, a real fucking website, baby. We are journalists. Fox News pays record fine over #MeToo violations of NYC human rights law.
Fox News Media has agreed to pay a record $1 million fine as a part of a broader settlement following the investigations by the New York City Commission on Human Rights into patterns of sexual harassment and retribution at the cable news channel.
Now, Fox News makes more than $2 billion a year. So $1 million fine, not a big deal. However, it is like one of the biggest fines, I think, that a network has paid for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. And the point of it all was that because Fox News retaliates over people who come out against them.
Right. Conditions of the settlement are more consequential. Along with specifying training programs and ways for employees to report harassment, Fox News agreed not to issue any new or extended contracts that compel people to resolve disputes in binding and confidential arbitration for the next 4 years. So basically what they're saying is, like, if you come out against Fox News, right now they're doing binding and arbitration is where there's no like jury trial. It's like
Just
settled.
lawyers.
What?
Just lawyers, right?
Just lawyers, yeah.
I love the way you say lawyer.
Lawyer?
Lawyers.
Lawyers. Basically, they can't take them to court. It's settled privately. From my understanding.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Legal friends weigh in.
Yeah. Basically, they found that Fox News was engaging in patterns of retaliating against individuals that were working at Fox News. So you report your sexual harassment, you usually got fired. And now they can't do that. I mean, they couldn't do it either. They couldn't do it before. They were just doing it. But like, hopefully this, ushers in an era where like, okay, guys, for real, you can't do that.
Right, right. We hope that this is a model for other conciliation agreements and other agencies and other companies to start that by not allowing mandatory arbitration clauses to be in any of these contracts, Paella says, who is the supervising attorney of the commissioner's gender-based harassment unit.
So it's a beautiful statement about mandatory arbitration, says attorney Nancy Erica Smith, who represented former Fox News host Gretchen Carlson and former reporter Diana Falzone, who now writes for the Daily Beast. Oh, and former commentator Julie Roginski. My goodness. I mean, this was happening a lot. I think everyone knows that. So this is good. This is good. I mean, I think Fox News should be punished for a lot of things.
Sure.
So, this is good.
Yeah, for the next 4 years at least, who knows what's going to happen after, what they resort back to. But hopefully this puts a ceasefire to it.
Why is it only going to last 5 years? That doesn't make sense.
Great question. I don't know if they have the authority to extend it past that many years.
Weird.
Yeah.
Hey, Erica.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I think I'm pretty fucking ready. Ouch. God damn it. I kicked a chair. Wait, I'm not ready. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week.
A fire.
According to the daily.com, the Citizen app is faking local residents in Los Angeles.
We've discussed the Citizen app before, haven't we?
I think so. I mean, if you don't know what Citizen app is, it's like Nextdoor on $20 of meth.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Nextdoor is, these are
good
just
for
apps.
You.
Yeah, thank God. These are apps where people can post things that are happening in their neighborhood. You usually have to like verify where you live, at least on Nextdoor. I've never downloaded Citizen because I can't. I just simply can't.
Yeah, Citizen reports like man stabbed with furniture or house fire. Like it's like the scary side of local news. That's
like Nextdoor. You can be like, hey, like I've got a lot of lemons on my lemon tree. If you want to come grab some lemons, and it just goes out to their neighbors. But Citizen is man walking with machete down Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah. So what they've done recently is they're trying to turn they scan police scanners to create localized alerts about crime, but they're trying to allow users to be like on-demand broadcasters.
Yeah, basically like man on the scene news type people to go live at these things, at these occurrences.
And so what's happening is a random man named Landon was interviewed by the Citizen app live show during 2 unrelated broadcasts on Wednesday, June 3rd in Los Angeles. But is he a local resident or marketing for the app that want to turn every citizen into a cop?
Citizen is a smartphone app that monitors police scan. Oh, we already went over this. Sorry, just kidding. So it tries to create an appearance of omnipresent security, but is usually just as frequently vigilante surveillance gone wrong.
Landon might have been written off as a coincidence, one man happening upon 2 different crime scenes during a day. But the Daily Dot subsequently discovered 6 additional videos of Landon broadcasting from other public emergencies, calling into question whether he just so happens to be the random citizen as the app portrays him as.
Landon has been live on Citizen's official website frequently, on the scene at a shooting, a house fire, a person stuck in an elevator, and many other crime scenes.
Landon appeared at 9 a.m. Pacific time last Wednesday on Citizen's live broadcast during a search for a man brandishing a sword at Western Avenue and 3rd Street in Los Angeles. He was interviewed by Citizen's host, Rob. Hey, that's in K-Town. Go us.
4 hours later, he showed up at Wilshire Boulevard and Ridgely Drive, 3 miles from the first incident, and was again interviewed by the live show's host, Rob, during a search for a suspect who believes to have shot another person. Rob strangely did not seem to recognize or acknowledge the fact that he was interviewing the same person for 2 different incidents within the same 4 hours on Wednesday.
In all the videos, he is portrayed as a regular Citizen user, Landon1129, broadcasting from different breaking news events around Los Angeles while attempting to interview first responders and witnesses.
So essentially what's going on is that Citizen is trying to hire their own fucking night crawlers.
100%, yeah.
Like, that is... Are these people getting paid?
I assume Landon is getting paid, and Rob for sure is getting paid because he's like their host.
Right.
But I think Landon is a plant.
This is how conspiracy theories start, you guys.
100%. 100%. Now, unrelated to this, I saw a job posting this week for, and this could be not Citizen. It doesn't say Citizen directly, but a casting for a new app with user-generated content in the Crime Watch emergency and safety space is looking for enthusiastic, inquisitive, and bold individuals to become full-time field members for the app. As a field team member, you would be the first eyes on the scene, the official presence for the app to tell its users what's going on with anything from a house fire, a lost pet, to a national emergency. You will need to be very quick on your feet, not only in terms of reporting what's going on for the app users, but be able to locate witnesses in the field, grabbing the opportunity to interview police or fire department officials while streaming live.
I mean, this is dangerous.
This is dangerous. This is how, like, vigilantes get started.
Yeah, I mean, you could also just get killed, or you can get in the way, or like, this is not... When CNN goes in, they've got a lot. They've got maybe a small crew, but they have a crew. They have badges. They have, like, they operate within like the grounds of the law to get as close as they can, but not. I mean, this is they have lawyers. There's a lot that actual real life news stations have. Even your local news station has, that I just don't know. I mean, like, Citizen almost feels like it would be like the Lyft or Uber model for night crawlers and, like, up and coming wannabe journalists, where they'll employ you, but they won't help you or protect you.
Right. The liability is huge.
Totally. Because if it wasn't, then they would just fucking hire people the old fashioned way.
Yeah. Citizen, when reached out by the Daily Dot, would not answer specific on-the-record questions about Landon. However, after presented with his repeated appearances, the company issued the following statement. Citizen has a team in place in some cities where the app is available to demonstrate how the platform works and to model responsible broadcasting practices, a spokesperson said. We believe that the teams will ultimately help guide our users on how to broadcast in an effective, helpful, and safe way. Landon is a part of this team.
Yeah, right. This is how we lead by example. How about just fucking have some guidelines about it and admit that this guy works for you? Like, I don't see how it's any less compelling to watch a Citizen live stream knowing that someone works for Citizen rather than having them fucking pretend that they're, I don't know. Like I said, this is how conspiracy theories get started, and this is what makes people crazy, and this is very dangerous in my opinion. I can't have Citizen on my phone. Ignorance is bliss. I don't need to know how frequently people get stabbed in my neighborhood, you know?
Yeah, the app recently misidentified an airport training exercise as a plane crash, and they also sent a mob of a vigilante hunt for the wrong man. It was having its citizens on the ground would enhance the show's aura and app's omnipresence until you realize that they are the app's own effort of marketing itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is that sometimes it's fucking wrong. You know, like, do you trust your nosy neighbor to have all of the facts all of the time? Absolutely not.
Nope.
And that's all this is nosy neighbors together as one on a crime app. Like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
It's wild. That's the dumpster fire of the week.
And boy, does she burn hot.
Are you hoarding anything?
I am. So my partner and I have been eyeballing the laundry room quite a bit at his place. And by us, I mean I have been, because I think that place it hasn't utilized space correctly. And so we keep saying that we're going to build shelves, we're going to do this project, we're going to make it great. It's hard to ramp yourself up to do that big of a project, but this week I am hoarding doing the fucking project. It is so satisfying to like do what you say you're going to do, even if it's daunting and big.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm essentially hoarding like build shelves, but you know, I just like, it's a proud moment to look at something so efficient and be like, we built that. We built that with our bare hands. So if you got a project laying around in your house that you've been thinking about doing or whatever, you want to paint that room, you want to reorganize your spice cabinet, whatever it is, like take this week, I guess by the time you hear this, the long week won't be over, but take this week, just do it. And then maybe you tweet at us or something and tell us what project you did.
Yeah, please do. That'd be great.
What are you hoarding?
A little indie flick called Fast 9.
Okay. Have you already hoarded this?
No, I've talked about my love of it, but I saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Fun.
It is the most fun, ridiculous movie. And I've never seen a Fast movie in theaters before. And the crowd like gasped and clapped and got excited for characters and I got to eat nacho fries while watching a movie. It was a magical experience.
Did they have masks on when you weren't eating, or what was the rule?
Yes, mask on when you weren't eating or drinking.
That's very fun. That's very fun. I want to go see Black Widow in a theater, and I'm trying to decide if I should go Drafthouse or just go like the classic AMC, but that's going to be my first one back. Those high energy movies are very fun to see. So I like what you're hoarding this week.
Yeah, it's a good time. And if you haven't, I know I've talked about my love of the Fast and the Furious franchise, but it is like everything becomes justified in some way. Every character choice, every ridiculous moment, the set pieces are incredible. I just highly recommend you watching it.
Is this the last one?
No, 10 will be the last one.
Okay. Yeah, got to round it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Are you throwing anything away?
I am. Now, if you listen to this podcast, you know that one time in San Francisco, I ate fish and chips, and then I ended up growing up pooping my pants.
Mhm.
I believe that is that was the extent of the story. That is a true story. I'm just wondering if I included all of the details. But yesterday, I decided for the first time in 6-7 years since that happened that I was going to try fish and chips again. And I didn't grown up poop my pants yet. But I did throw up last night.
Oh no.
Yeah. And like I drank, sure, but I didn't drink enough to throw up. I genuinely believe it was the fish and chips. So
Yeah.
look, I eat French fries all day. It doesn't bother me. I even eat fried whitefish in like a taco or a po' boy or whatever. But the combination of the two together and maybe that dippy vinegar or tartar, I don't know what the fuck it is, but like clearly I cannot eat fish and chips as a meal. And so I'm discouraging all of our listeners to do so as well. I'm throwing it out. Get the fuck out of my face, fish and chips.
Get out.
Apologies to our, British listeners.
Don't they call it fish and crisp?
Probably.
Fish and chips.
Well, I thought chips was fries to them and crisps were potato chips.
Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, you're right.
Get it straight.
Get it together, Erica.
God, you're embarrassing me in front of England.
I'm so sorry. I apologize to all of England.
What are you throwing out?
And the UK. And the UK.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. What are you throwing out?
I got a heat rash on my boob and it's bothering me.
Throw that shit out.
I'm throwing that shit out. I was outside 3 times this weekend and I got a heat rash and it sucks.
From a bra or what?
I don't know, but I'm putting this ointment on it. Like, it sucks.
Is it under?
A butt, like in between.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
Yeah, it's unfun.
What do you like? So you get an ointment? Are you also just going braless? Because that's what I have to do. Whenever I've gotten a heat rash, I just go braless for like a few days and it goes away.
I have not gone braless yet, but maybe I should.
Yeah, I mean, you get the heat rash. You got to take the girls out of the cage.
Take them out. Let
them walk around.
Yeah.
Well, fuck that.
Yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. I'm throwing it out. Where can the people find you?
At Cass Cardenas on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on the Nooner podcast. Although I haven't been on the past couple weeks, and I'm sorry. Okay? I've been really busy, and it's not my fault. It's not because I, really dislike those men. I don't. Yeah, the Nooner podcast, the Smodcast Radio Network. Where do they find you, Erica?
At Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram and at Gillygal on Twitter. And you...
Oh, I was going to say the same thing as you. So
Go
you
ahead.
say it.
No, you say it.
No, you say it.
I'd love to hear you say it.
Okay, but I think it would be better if you said it. You can find this podcast at Trashy Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter.
And you can find us at www.trashytrashypodcast.com.
On trashytrashypodcast.com, did you know that you could fill out a box and tell us why you're trash?
Why, yes, I did. And we've had listener submissions before, and it is wonderful.
You know what? We were asking for Vegas stories, and we still want them, like very much so. Mm-hmm. And Mama Trash Can herself, my mother, said, here's my Vegas story. I didn't do anything wrong. And like...
Uh-oh.
But like that was it. She literally didn't tell a story. She was just like, I was good at, like, she was just bragging that she was like good in Vegas. And I'm like, that's not what we're fucking looking for.
Yeah. That's not the point.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Fabulous. Cass?
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.